Hello guys, welcome back. I'm Editing.lauren and today I'm going to show you how to speed up your After Effects for free. And if you don't know me, these are my social media handles and I would be glad if you would follow them if you don't already. And yeah, let's jump right into it. There are many ways speeding up your After Effects. But first we need to go up to Edit and go to our preferences and first to General. And when we're in here, go right up to Import and check if under video footage hardware accelerated decoding is enabled. And if don't, enable it and restart After Effects again. It should come pre-enabled, but checking doesn't hurt. And next up we are going to Media and Disk Cache. Check under Disk Cache if the Disk Cache is enabled, and if don't, enable it and set the maximum Disk Cache size to around about 40 gigabytes. This helps After Effects to make your playback smoother when you press the spacebar. And if for some reason you have problems with the preview, you can empty the disk cache either in here and press empty disk cache and press OK, or go up to Edit, Purge, and All Memory and Disk Cache. And back in the preference window, we are going right to autosave and change save every blank minute. I put it on every 2 minutes. You can choose when After Effects likes to quit on us. I personally don't really lose that much progress because it literally saves every 2 minutes. So it's not that much progress. You can also put it on every 10 minutes. It's just more riskier. And if you have the hard drive space, just put it lower. It doesn't hurt. You can always delete them and it's just way safer. As we all know, After Effects is really flaky and just likes to quit on us. And then we're going to memory and performance. Put the RAM reserved for other applications as low as possible. For me, the lowest number is 3 gigabytes and RAM available 29 gigabytes for After Effects. These numbers will change depending on your specific PC. I'm fortunate and got 32 gigabytes of random access memory. If you have 8, then this number will be lower, but it will work good. The more RAM you have, the longer of your cache preview you can get. And I can't stress this enough is to enable multi-frame rendering. This is specific for After Effects version 2022 and up. If you have the After Effects versions before, I'm not sure if they have this specific thing. And I put percent CPU reserved for other applications on 3%. You can also change it to 0%. I like to play music when I'm editing and it just basically allows me to have that. I ran many times in problems with rendering. I often come in here and disable multi-frame rendering, and usually it will solve the rendering issues, but the issue will be a lot slower. But hey, your edit renders and I think it's okay. Yeah, and exit out of here. When you're editing normally, I've seen many people going to the transform properties in a very tedious way. Many people go here, carry it down, and also carry down on this transform button and then keyframing, but it's not necessary. These little caret thingy arrows are really hard to hit and it's just not possible. So I think most of the editors are using their keyboard to access them. For example, for position, you need to press P. For scale, you need to press S. For rotation, you need to press R. For opacity, you need to press T. And for the anchor point, you need to press A. I hope we are using this. And when you don't use it, please grow accustomed to using it. I know it's hard first, but eventually you will do it without even thinking about it. And it will save you a lot of time. What really bothers me is that many people, including myself for some things, are choosing to go up to the toolbar and like handpick, for example, the pen tool or the text tool or the roto brush tool. I manually go up for the pen tool, the roto brush tool, or for the rectangle tool. But what I always do when I'm finished with that specific tool that I've chosen, if I'm up in this region at the toolbar or down at my timeline, I will always press a shortcut to go to the selection tool. That's like the normal tool. And the shortcut is V. And I can do anything everywhere in the interface, and when I press V, I know I can change where my clip is and I know I don't change anything else, and it's just way faster. Almost the same is with when I want to change the anchor point. For example, if I want this anchor point up in that corner here, many people will press A and then adjust their numbers so that the anchor point will rest at the corner, and then reposition their anchor point. It is tedious because you need to adjust 2 sets of numbers and the position of our photo changes, and it's just tedious and not necessary. And for example, for many 3D models, it doesn't really work. What I've grown accustomed to do is to use the anchor point tool that allows me to drag the anchor point wherever I want. And if you have snapping enabled, also snaps to the corners or wherever you want. It's really helpful. Depending on what you're editing or how you're editing, it's okay if you periodically choose that tool in the toolbar. But for me, I use it kind of a lot, and especially for 3D. So what I do is I'm holding down the right key, and as you can see, I select the anchor point tool and I'm able to drag around my anchor point without changing the position of my photo. When I am happy with the placement of my anchor point, I let go of the right key, and as you can see, it's reselected the selection tool and I can move around my picture without my anchor point moving around on the picture. It saves a lot of time. Might seem a little bit ridiculous, but in the long run, on many edits and many hours spending editing, the saved seconds will add up. I can't stress it enough doing it like this, but in the end you decide if you want to grow accustomed to it or not. I'm just here to show you that there are other ways. And for example, what I really love doing is with text layers. Normally if you create a text layer, the anchor point is messed up and the position is like, I don't know, over here, and yeah, you can drag it in the middle and use the anchor point tool to recenter your anchor point. Sometimes it's tedious when there's not really a good picture behind it to be able to snap in the center. So there's another way. It is a shortcut and it's quite a mouthful. And keep in mind, all these shortcuts that I'm mentioning are specific to a Windows PC. You need to do your own research if you want to use these keyboard shortcuts on a MacBook. I will leave a website in the description of this video where you can search for it to be able to first put the anchor point in the exact middle of the text layer bounds. Hold down Control, Alt, and Home. And as you've seen, my anchor point snapped right into the middle. The beauty of it is that it also works on pictures and any other layer. I love it. We now just have the issue that the text layer isn't centered in our composition. So what we can do is to press also the Control key and press the Home key, and then you've centered your text in the center of your composition. And it's really fast because first you need to hold down Control, Alt, and Home, and then just let go of the Alt key, and then you've done 2 tasks that are normally time consuming in 2 button presses, and it saves a lot of time, especially when doing a lot of voiceovers or in general text in your edits. Come on, we all know we hate to do text in our edits. This way it makes it a lot less tedious. If we're doing animations, it's properly anchored and we don't need to hassle around with our anchor point. So I love it that I found that keyboard shortcut actually on accident. Now what I also grown accustomed to use is when, for example, I have my beat here at like the 5 frame mark. First, to create a marker, you can go up here, up to layer, markers, and add marker. We don't want these intricate steps. So what we also can do is press a little flower symbol, the numpad if you have it, that just creates a marker way faster. When you play, it also put it where you're playing and what you're seeing in your composition. It's just way faster marking your beats and your audio. For example, I want my text layer to start where the marker is. And yeah, I could hold down at this mark here and then drag my text layer. And for this example, it's not that time consuming. A lot of layers and a really long and big timeline, it will add up, and it's way more tedious to hit exactly. Yeah, you could hold down Shift, but a way easier method is to hold down, I don't know how it's called in English. I have a German keyboard layout, and for me it's Alt big and then the open bracket, and it cuts it for me where my time ruler is. And also the Alt big and the closed bracket also cuts it the other side of my clip. You probably have seen it in my other video, and if you haven't seen my video, go watch it after this video. Yeah. So now comes the issue of easy easing and graphing. Normally, when you are doing a transition, you put a set of keyframes and adjust your values, and then you need to highlight both of your keyframes, right click, go to keyframe assistant, easy ease, and then go up to the graph editor, and then like doing your graphs. But there's a better way. I've actually set my own custom keyboard shortcuts to speed up that graphing process into pieces. It's first the easy easing of the keyframes. I don't right click on my keyframes and then go to keyframe assistant and then easy ease. The normal shortcut for that is usually F9, but when you have a keyboard that has a function row with like double functions like changing the volume, you have to hold down the function key and then press the F9 button. And yeah, you know a way where you could change the normal behavior that it always assumes that you are pressing the F keys and not the rewind keys, but it's just very helpful when I'm listening to music and I don't want to change it. So I had to come up with another strategy. The cool thing about After Effects and most other programs is that you can change your keyboard shortcuts. How you're doing this is by going up to edit and go down to keyboard shortcuts. Now you're seeing the keyboard layout. We could like go through this list, but it's really confusing. So we just search for set keyframe to easy ease. You can hold down on it and then just drag it. For me, it's the X button. Now I hold onto it, drag it over the X, let go, and as you can see, it put that specific function onto the X key. And when going out, when you highlight both of your keyframes and press X, you see they got easy eased. Really helpful. Most of the time can see in Lauren's videos. It's also tedious and hard to hit the keyframe assistant, and most of the time this panel then just disappears and it's just a whole struggle. But now it leaves the issue of on my keyframes for highlighting, then I need to go up with my mouse to the graph editor and go back down and highlight again to be able to manipulate my graph. But there's also a more efficient way. It's by also setting a keyboard shortcut to be able to switch to the graph editor, and as you can see, my mouse can be up at the toolbar. I can switch to my graph editor. We need to go back to our keyboard shortcuts and then search for show or hide graph editor. As you can see, Shift plus Y. Before, press your desired modification key, then drag and drop it onto the key you want. Just press OK and save it, and then go back out. And then you can see when you have highlighted your keyframes, or it also works when you have not highlighted your keyframes and you press the keyboard shortcut, it goes in and out of the graph editor. It's really handy dandy. So these were the native modifications you can do inside After Effects, but now I'm showing you a holy grail that I've been using for like 3 or 4 years now, and it's called FX Console. When I'm pressing Control Spacebar, you see this UI here. You can take a screenshot of what you see in your composition and copy it to your clipboard. This button I'm not using. This button is really cool. This allows you to save your composition window to a PNG or JPEG. And what I really like about this is when you have like a photo selected and press Control Spacebar, you have a search bar in here, and if you, for example, want the effect motion tile on your photo, you can search in here, motion tile, press enter and go to your effects controls, and you see the effect motion tile is applied onto your clip, and you can change it as normal, and you don't need to go to effects and presets and search in there, drag and drop it onto your clip, and it's just time consuming, and you can search for every imaginable effect you have installed into your After Effects, both native effects and plugin effects. And what I really like about it, if for example I want to search for a glow effect and I usually use the S glow effect, and when I type in glow, normally the normal glow is the first that shows up, but you can change that in the settings. I personally exported a file that sets up my FX console for me. Comment if I should post this FX console settings file so that you also have it set up like me. And as you see, there are things that I've changed in this section, shortcuts. That means that I need to press the number 1 up to 9 to access the effect motion tile or blur request or something way faster. I can show you this. When I press Control spacebar, you see these things here, and when I press 2, the effect blur curves is applied automatically, and these correspond with these in here. And you can also like kind of delete effects you don't want to see. It's not really deleting, it's just not shown in the FX console list. When you search, you can search for it in the effects and presets panel, but not in the FX console panel. This favorite panel is, for example, when I've searched for glow, the normal glow appeared at the top, but as you can see, S-Glow appeared at the top, even though S-Glow is alphabetically under the normal glow. That's because I've said that the S-Glow effect is one of my favorites. It's just faster going through your effects and selecting them. I think there are rumors that in the newest After Effects version 2026, there is a native Ray implementation of that. But if you don't have the newest After Effects version, the FX console is great for efficient effects usage. And down in the description, you can also see a link where you can get the FX console plugin for free, and it is for free. If you want a tutorial on how to download and install plugins, just write it in the comments. Maybe I will make one in the future. For now, just please look on the website on how to download it. Hello, here's the Editing.lauren. I've realized that up to this point, the video is long enough. I've actually filmed quite a lot more footage with ways that you can speed up your workflow with paid things. Let me know in the comments if I should release a video with paid things that can elevate your editing on a whole nother level. But yeah, back to the other editing, Lauren. I hope this video was helpful and you could learn some new things on how to speed up working with After Effects and maybe understanding some frustrating quirks with After Effects. Let me know if I should do a video on more quirky After Effects things that can happen and that I know how to solve. Yeah, just let me know in the comments, and please like and share the video, and have a great day or night wherever you are, and bye!